Good morning, my miniatureholic family, and welcome back. In this week's video, we're going to learn how to, renovate, update this kitchen cabinet kit. This was a kit that I purchased years ago at one of the miniature conventions, and I put it together, and I do not like how it turned out. I was new at it, and it just, we're going to redo this. So we're going to sand it down, paint it, and we're going to add a few more cabinets to it. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so this actually had a couple more pieces and I don't know what happened to it. And I really messed this thing up. Like, this channel is about the good, the bad, and the ugly, and like this turned out really ugly for as I'm concerned. I don't know how I broke this. I had glued it together, but you're not going to even notice that when I'm done. I'm going to have to get new hardware for the sink. Oh wow. And so this goes with this stovetop. It goes over it like this. So if you notice, this right here is missing a cabinet. I need to put something under there. And this right here, it mounts on the wall. So I need a whole cabinet set to go underneath it I'm going to have to make. And we have the island, which I like the island. I really like this. I don't even want to paint over this. I think we'll figure it out. I might just make a granite countertop. So this is all the pieces. I'm going to have to add a couple of additional pieces. But in the meantime, I'm going to work with what I have. And when I'm done, then I'll make the additions. And I'm going to let you see me do it. So let's get started with the sanding. Now here's a little tip. If you take like a rectangular piece of wood, and it has to be square like a block, it's easier to handle that way. And you fold it over, and you cut a piece off, it's easier to sand. Some people know this little trick, those who've been in for a long time, who've been into miniatures. Some don't. So I've got fine sand. All I want to do is just kind of buff it up a little bit so the paint will stay better and to get any splinters off. It makes it way easier, and it's smooth. So I'm going to go over the front. Oh, that feels way better. Alright, and then one more side. Yep. Okay. Get underneath too. It makes a difference with the painting, trust me. Because when you paint and it's not smooth, it doesn't look professional. It's not a smooth look to it. Alright, so I'm going to keep doing these until they're all done, and then we're going to start the painting. Okay, so I have all of the cabinets sanded down and prepped with masking tape over the stainless steel so that it doesn't get paint. This one I'm not going to be able to put masking tape over because I think I'm really good at precision when it comes to painting around it, and it's a headache trying to get this. Look at this, how thin that is, to put the tape over that, and I'm still going to miss some. So I'm going to, even with the tape over it, you're still going to miss some of this wood. So it's better for me to just use freehand, is what they call it, and then just take a smaller brush and go under it. So I'm going to get started with painting. I'm going to show you how I'm going to paint one of them. So I'm just going to go ahead and get started with the island and paint it. And I'm using a sample from, I think it was Menards is where I got this from. It's like a really soft gray. And it's going to match the black and white kitchen. That way I don't want a dark color. It'll all be overbearing in the kitchen. So we're going to do the soft gray. And once it's completely dry, I think I'm going to have 2 or 3 coats with this wood to make it the color I want. And afterwards, I'm going to use this pearlescence metallic paint. I got both of them from Lowe's. So I'm going to start with this. It's going to be several coats. It's going to take me days to do this. But I'm going to show you, just give you a sample of what I'm doing. Let's get her open. Alright, I'm going to take a crooked popsicle stick that I'm not able to use. I'm going to use it as a stir stick. Because you don't want to shake it, you just want to stir it. Oh, that's a pretty color. Look at that. It's a soft, almost white, but a soft gray. That's going to be cute. And then cover it with that pearlescence metallic. Ah, yeah. Gorgeous. Okay, so let me tell you a little bit more about the family in the house, because I know I told you all some of it when I was doing the balloons. I told you about the grandson and the grandmother and the great-grandmother. So it all began when the grandmother married her high school sweetheart. Oh, he took good care of her. He worked for the railroad, and they had children, and they raised those children. And they traveled a lot, and I mean, it was a good family. So, but eventually the father took ill and passed away, and he left the grandmother that gorgeous Thorn Hill. And she lived there for a long time by herself, and then she ended up moving her mother in with her and took care of her mother up until she passed away. Now, during the time that she took care of her mother, that's when her and her mother agreed to take the grandchildren, the 2 grandchildren in, because of the daughter's addiction. Plus, she had mental illness too, so she couldn't take care of the kids, so they took them in. So that's pretty much the the history of the family. They had a good upbringing. The children did. It just so happened that one of them, as in most families, somebody's doing something. Okay, so let's get started with this paint, and I'm only gonna do just the island, just paint the island the first coat, so you know what direction I'm headed in. Because watching somebody paint is like constantly just paint, paint, paint. Everybody knows how to paint. So we're not going to do that. I don't do that on this channel where you just watch me paint all the time. Alright, so just going to get this done. Going to do the sides first. That way I have somewhere to place my hands. The top and the bottom. And I don't want the paint in the cracks. Or if you do paint and you get them in the cracks, go over it again with a toothpick or some type of sharp item and get the paint out of the cracks, because it's going to show. Okay, now let's talk a little bit about the kids in the house. A girl and a boy, teenagers, let's say around 17 and 14, 15. But when they were with their mother, she did try to take care of them. She didn't abuse them or anything. It's just she was pretty much neglectful, because all she was thinking about was, you know, getting into the streets or getting her next high. But they were alone a lot, and then there was strange people around them, so that's when the family stepped in. But they were some really good kids, mannerly, but they didn't have a lot. So when they moved in with the grandmother, oh my goodness, her and the great-grandmother didn't want to travel that much. She was really a homebody. So, but the grandmother and auntie and uncle, they would go on different trips. And the kids never experienced that. Oh my God, they lost their mind. They got to go all kind of places, like Disney World and Universal Studios. They went to Tennessee, to some cabins, and even on Disney cruises. And oh, the grandmother just spoiled them. Now, after the mother found out all this, well, why come you didn't do that with us? First of all, even though your father was around, it was like several of y'all. I think she had like 4 children total with her husband, and they didn't have a lot of money. Even though he was working for the railroad, it was expensive taking care of all those kids, and they didn't have that nice house. So at first, and eventually once he moved up in position at the railroad, then yeah, he got her that house, and the kids were raised in it, and now the grandchildren are being raised in it. But they didn't have money like that, not even to travel. So they were lucky if they got to travel in the state they were in. So the grandmother had to put the mother in her place, like, hey, we didn't have it like that then, but these are 2 grandkids and we have that and then some, so they're going to get spoiled, like it or not. It's funner being a grandmother than a mother. And I know that from personal experience. You get to spoil them and then send them home. Okay, so this is the first coat. And yeah, I think I got it pretty good. So I'm going to set it down and I'm going to go over the top. And I'm going to let it dry. And like I said, this is going to take days. It really is going to take days. And yeah, the countertop, the top part of it, I really like the way it was with the lines in it, but I'm just going to probably do a marble effect. And I'll show you how. I'm trying to make it smooth because I did sand it, but it's... Okay, well, I'm going to have to sand it again after the first coat before I put the second one on, and it'll smooth it out. Okay, so I'm going to get started on the rest of these pieces, and I'll be back at you in about a week. Alright, I'll be back when it's ready. Alright, so I got the first coat on, and it really looks nice, but I'm definitely going to have to sand it. So while we're waiting for this to dry and me sanding and go to the next coat, I want to show you something in the Thorn Hill. Alright, so the kitchen is what I want you to see. Remember these long time ago when I was first getting started, I wanted to put some black beams up in the ceiling? Well, I'm going to do that today. And you won't be able to see me do it because you ain't going to see no but the back of my head. There's no room in there. But when I'm done with it, I'm going to let you see how it looks. So I want to get this done while we're waiting for the cabinets to dry and get finished completely. The inlay flooring will be coming soon. I'm working with Tara on that. You will not be able to see me do the inlay flooring because that's something that Tara taught me in a class. And maybe sometime in the future, once I get my own special technique going, then I'll be able to do a class on that myself. This wire that leads from upstairs all the way down is the wiring for the many different lights throughout the house. So they come out through the kitchen. So I'm going to encase those wires so you won't be able to see them. The cabinets will be able to cover that up. Alright, that's all I want to show you for now. Once I get the beams up, I'll bring you back. I glued the beams to the ceiling with a quick hold, and I had to clamp them down with the Irwin quick grip. But I got them from Lowe's. So I used these to like literally hold the beams up to the ceiling. And it looks good. It looks really, really good. Haha! I just want to show you that I've been waiting to put those up for a long time. Now I'm back to the kitchen set. So this is the first coat and it's dry, and I'm just going to sand it just to smoothen it out. And I wish you could feel the difference. It's really smooth. Like this side right here, if you could feel this, it's rough. It's not too bad, but you know, it should be smooth. So after your first coat of paint, I would suggest that you sand it. I use fine sand paper. Oh, it's so smooth. So it'll look better. You won't have all them lumps, bumps. So I'm going to get this done and the rest of them. Then I'm going to do the second coat of paint and I'll show you how it looks. Be back. Alright, so I've painted the kitchen set 3 coats and it looks good. I love the way it's looking. This is I'm going to spice it up because you know me, I like elegance. But this is a pretty color. It's a soft gray. So now what I'm getting ready to do is I'm going to go over it with some metallic pearlescent is what they call it, paint. And this should give it a slight shimmer. So I'm going to try that. But before I get started, I'm going to show you something. So this kitchen set right here, this little part, it sets, let me see if I can move this out the way. It sets like this. Let's see if I can get you to see this. Like, so it sits right here. This is the part I'm trying to get you to see. It's not going to go way down here because, let me see if I can get closer. So it's not going to go way down here. I need it taller. So I'm going to have, I've added some more wood and I built it to about right here. So all I did was cut. I measured and cut, and I don't measure like everybody else. Everything has to be precise. So I just took a few pieces of wood and I butted it up against this cabinet and I made it fit down in a slot. So that way it's taller and I have more space at the top. So, and this will go like this. So I'm going to trim this off a little bit more. And I'm going to doctor it up. So it's going to look real nice when I'm done. Now the island, it has 4 doors that do open. So I'm going to take the top and I'll make it granite. And I'm going to show you how I'm going to do that. It's going to be interesting. I'm doing stuff I've never done before. Wow. All right. So I'm going to stir it just like I did the paint. Oh, this is pretty. Look at that. You see that shimmer? Oh, it's going to be so cute. Let's get started. Cleaned my brush and ready to paint. Ooh, that's pretty. It is such a pretty color. Oh my goodness. I wonder if I'm going to do more than one coat. We'll find out. Now, I got this idea from Tara, who was my instructor at the Tom Bishop Show 2025 when I made that Paris box. We were talking on the phone and I told her what I was trying to do, and she saw my kitchen, the Thorn Hill, when I was trying to describe to her about the floor. We were talking about the inlay flooring, and I told her what I want to do with the kit, and I got advice from my grandkids, and they were saying some type of gray. And so she was like, maybe a soft gray, and then put something over it that'll make it shimmer. So she suggested the metallic paint that I bought from Menards. So this is so cute. Okay, this is gorgeous. Look at that shimmer. Oh my God, it's gorgeous. Okay, so I'm going to let this dry and paint the rest of them. And then when they're done and they are thoroughly dry, I'll bring you back to see it. So this is what it's looking like now. And see how I made that little addition. So I measured in the front, I measured on the sides, and in the back, just a piece of wood. And then I put a little strip right here, this right here, just to cover the gap between this cabinet and the wood that I attached to this part of the cabinet. And it turned out really nice. I'm not really good at cabinets, but this turned out nice, and this is how it's going to look. Now I'm going to make a backdrop, but it's going to end right here at the top, and it's going to go all the way in the back of the cabinets because it's going to cover all of this. See, all of this will be covered. But this part of the cabinet is going to be tile, black and white tile, up this side of the wall. It's going to be so cute. So now what I want to do is show you. Hold on, let me see. These are the other pieces. Look how that shimmers. That looks so nice. I got to make a cabinet for this. Definitely got to do that. Got the kitchen sink. That Okay, we're looking good, we're looking good. But what I want to show you today is the island and how I'm going to make this sort of like granite. So we're going to focus on that right now. So what I'm going to need in addition to my countertop is a sponge and some water and paint. So since my countertop is really like a beautiful soft gray and I used the metallic paint all around it, I want something that's going to match. So I got different colors of metallic paint. So I got like silver, I got copper, I got that beautiful green and that metallic gold and like a bluish color. So I'm going to blend, and I can't exactly tell you how to do it. You have to be creative. So let's get a close up and get started. This is a big piece of sponge. I don't need that big of a piece, so I'm going to cut up in a few pieces because I don't need a huge piece. And maybe another one. Okay. So I want to start out with maybe, we're looking at a silver. I'll put a little bit of silver right here. Kind of like a bluish silver. It's really pretty. I'm going to take a piece of sponge. I'm going to tear it some more. And I'm going to wet it. I'm just going to get it just a little soft. So it won't be so stiff. And I'm going to dip it in my paint. And I'm going to dab. Don't want too much on there. So I'm going to do this with all the paint. So now that I got this much on there, here's what I'm going to do. Just dab. All over. Now, this is a long process because you need to let this dry before you add another color. Alright, so the next color is copper. Just a drop. I don't want a lot. It does not take a lot. So, take another one, a clean one, wet it up, and do the same thing. And that's what I'm going to do with all the colors until I get the effect that I want. I'm looking for a certain type of a look. So I'm going to dab it. Same way. Don't want too much. And see what happens. Ooh, that's pretty. That is so pretty. So what I'm trying to do is add more color to the kitchen. Even though it's a black and white kitchen, I think the centerpiece for it all should be the island. And that's going to just make it pop. I'm hoping. Okay, I'm hoping. Okay, so I'm going to let that dry, then move to the next color. Next color is gold. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Here we go. Alright, here we go. See what happens. And it's all metallic because I want it to blend. Oh, that looks nice. Let me give you a closer look. See? It's not too much. Ooh, that's going to be pretty. That's going to be so pretty. I want to clean this up, but I'm not because I may need it, but it might dry up too, so I'm going to leave it. You never know because you can get some water and wet your sponge and then rub it into the paint and you ain't got to waste it. So I'm going to leave that for now. Let this dry and then I'm going to try another color. Let's go for metallic green. That beautiful green that I used in the master bedroom. Alright, so here we go. And tap, 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 tap. I do not want a lot on here. Okay, I think I got most of it off. Here we go. And I don't want a lot. I just wanted to, well, you can see it, but it doesn't overtake it. Oh, it's gorgeous. Oh, oh my goodness. Okay, and the final color, like a, just like almost like a metallic blue. Okay, metallic blue. Here we go. I'm gonna try to get as much as I can. So I'm gonna try it over here. I don't want a lot. It does not take a lot. So when it's completely dry, I'm gonna go over with one coat of the pearlescence, just like the same color as this, but just lightly go over it, and that's gonna be my granite countertop. In fact, I like the way it looks so much, I think I'm gonna do the top part of the sink, and this one right here, this one, and this one. And then I'm gonna do the top part of this sink area, just this part right here, maybe around, but I'm gonna make it match because I think it's gorgeous. So I'm gonna set this aside and let it dry, and then I'm gonna work on the stove area and the sink area. And once it's dry, again, coat it with some pearlescence, and then I'll bring you back to show you the end result. All right, so this is where we're at so far. I took and I put some glue up here and attached the cabinet to the wall. I got a refrigerator that I had in my stash. I didn't know I had. It was a black one and a white one. Let me get a closer look. And I went with the black one. I've had it for years and forgot. It's always good to go through your stash, so I didn't have to make a refrigerator. So now I have to fill this space right here, like right there, to kind of make that area full so it won't look so empty. Now I have an issue with this cabinet right here. So I want like a little mini bar, oh, how do you say, a eating area, just a little, like a slab of wood going across the top part of here. And then a couple of maybe bar stools or tall chairs. So maybe the kids can eat on this side of the counter while, you know, they can snack while grandma's cooking or something. So I'm going to work on that. So I did take the measurement from the end of this cabinet all the way to the end of this cabinet. And the wood, I measured it from here to here, maybe about like a ½ inch. So I got it painted and it's drying. So I'm going to show that to you in a second. Now I got to get some wood and cover this and paint it so it'll blend in with the cabinet. So that's what I'm working on now, but it's coming together. I took a piece of wood and I cut it and I painted it black so it'll match the black beams in the ceiling in the refrigerator. And then I went over it with some of that pearlescence, so because I needed something to hold this cabinet up. It was holding, but it was kind of sagging down a little bit. So I needed this to hold it up, but I needed something to match the kitchen, so that's what I put up there. It's amazing what you can do with just a few pieces of wood or go through your stash, save a lot of money. And as far as the cabinet goes, like the kitchen cabinet, this area down here, it didn't have any wood at all. Let's see if I move my finger. I don't want it to make the camera look blurry, but I put a piece of wood right there. I just measured it and glued it together so it looked like it's part of the cabinet. So it's the details. It's the details. But we'll get a full look at this when I'm done. I still got work to do. All right, let's keep going. So I took the little kitchen sink out, as you can see. So I'm going to turn it this way. I did the measurement already for the wood. I painted, this is the wood, I painted it black and then went over it with some pearlescent. So I know the measurement for the back of the sink, and then I did include the part where the cabinet was. So now I can put maybe 2 or 3 bar stools or maybe some tall chairs. But this is where they're going to eat at while grandma's cooking. Or, you know, they might have company, auntie, uncle, cousin. But this is a place where somebody can eat. Okay, so now I just got to fill this part right here up. This piece is done. It goes on the back of the kitchen sink. It's going to be the little, I guess, the nook area with the bar stools. So now I got to get a couple of bar stools. So this is the one that I painted black, and I went over it with a pearlescence. And then I had to reinforce it with this piece of wood that I used in the game room to make it sturdy. So what I'm going to do is now I'm going to paint this completely black, and then maybe put some matte on it or something, because I want the black to match. So the reinforced area, you know, I really don't care, but this side right here, I think I'm going to paint black. Again, this time I'm going to put some Mod Podge on it, and I'm going to use the matte. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll bring you back and show you how I'm going to hook this up to the kitchen sink, and that's going to be pretty much it for the kitchen for now. So we'll look at it and we'll talk through it. Be back in a minute. Alright, so my table is still full of all types of things, but I think I got a little space to finish up this last part of the kitchen that I've been working on. So I got the sink, and I got the little, I guess the breakfast nook is what I want to call it. This is a space where the kids can eat and hang out and talk to their grandmother while she's cooking. So I'm going to just turn it this way. I should have took that sink out, but I glued it in. So now I'm going to have to figure this out another way. I want this glued onto here. And I wish I wouldn't have put that sink in. So now I got to figure this out. But I'm going to basically make a little triangle or some type of bracket to hold this up, and then that'll help me to make it flush. So I'm going to make that, then glue it on here, and then I'm going to show you the end result of the kitchen. Only thing will be left really is the floor. So I can't show you how to do that, because that's something I paid for in class when I went to Chicago when I took Tara's class, but I can show you the end result. So I'm going to get started with this, and then I'll bring you back. Now we've come to the completion of the kitchen kit. The cabinet, I put a support so that it wouldn't lean, and did a great job on the breakfast nook. And the bar stools will be here in a couple of days. Now as far as the flooring, the inlay flooring, that I will not show you how to do, because I paid for that class with Tara in Chicago. And I'm going to step up on my skills and master it, and then I'm going to teach a class myself. So, but I will show you the flooring in its entirety, along with the whole complete kitchen. So we have the lighting, and I want to show you the support beams real quick. So this is what the beams look like up in the ceiling, and they space perfectly. I love it. Just adds that extra oomph to the kitchen. A closer look at the granite countertop. I think we did a wonderful job. Alright, so this is the refrigerator that I chose, and it looks really good. I found it in my stash. Again, if you collect through the years and you look in your stash, you'll find stuff that you forgot you had. So I put it in underneath the cabinet, tucked away, and it fit perfectly. This stand I'm going to use for, I guess, pots, pans, even some food. We got plenty of cabinet space. Now I want to bring you over here in the dining room. This is some of the food that we're going to use in the kitchen and the dining room. So I'm going to make a separate video on how I make the food for the refrigerator, for the cabinets, and for the dining room. Now in this layout, in this scene, Grandma's going to be cooking in the kitchen, and this is some of the food that she's getting ready for the family to come over. While the children are sitting at the breakfast nook watching Grandma cook, and they're talking and socializing, the food is smelling good throughout the house. So this is some of what we have. Now we have our turkey, we have our Oreo cake, deviled eggs. Let's see if I can give you a close-up. There, much better. So again, we have the turkey, we have the Oreo cake, we have the deviled eggs, and we have layers of snacks, like French type snacks. Now this item right here I made at a convention. The bottom part of it is different pastries from France that we learned how to make. The second layer right there is pink salmon sandwiches and some type of cream sandwiches. So, and the top layer is more pastries. Now behind it we have a fruit tray. Behind that we have a salad, and behind the turkey we have a jello mold. And that's pretty much it as far as putting the kitchen kit together. It turned out really good. I'm very happy with it. Way better than when I first started it. It just was a hot mess. But it turned out nice, especially the granite tops. I love it. The countertops and the island and the beams as well. Alright, that's the end of this video. And I want to thank you for joining me in putting together this kitchen kit and making it look fabulous. It matches the kitchen and it's all going to come together in the future. I'm going to show it all in the grand finale video. So, and until next time,